Cersei and we are Ride Property, and today I thought I'd make a cameo on the screen as
She's been forced to get on
to do our third instalment of the D2V video series. So far we've looked at the sort of types of D2V there is and how to generate leads, and in this final instalment we're just going to have a little chat today about what you do when you get the call.
It wasn't meant to be three of us, but there was no way we were going to get this video done. We're like, this little one jumping on.
So I think if we just start by saying, when the actual call comes in, the incoming calls, how do you manage those?
So something that we have done from the beginning is we got another phone. So we weren't that comfortable with putting our own number out there to the masses, which I think from a security point of view is a good thing. You don't want weirdos ringing you at 2 o'clock in the morning. So we got another phone number, and that's what goes on all of our D2V marketing, so leaflets, HMO letters, and other email campaigns, and then all we do is we divert that to our main phone number, because no one wants to be carrying around 2 phones every day, and that's how we initially manage the calls coming in. At the minute we are able to manage the volume of calls that come in, but I think as we grow and scale, it's something that we're definitely looking to kind of outsource into a answering phone messaging service, and potentially utilising our VA to help us with that. But at the minute, we're able to manage that in-house. So initially the phone calls come in, and essentially whoever's kind of not in work or isn't able to get to the phone answers the phone for that day. So we take it in turns, like kind of duties, on-watch duties.
Yeah, and the other thing is, some people don't necessarily always ring you. I think people have fears sometimes these days of speaking to people over the phone. So
it's a big commitment. It's a big commitment sometimes picking the phone up.
Yeah, massively. I've actually gone a long way to actually pick the phone up. So what some people actually do is send text messages, don't they?
Yes, and we've had experience of this quite a lot. People texting, and all we would say is something that we've found from experience is try and not continue to engage via text message, because it's very easy for people to switch off and to go cold from a text message than it is from physically kind of picking the phone up and ringing people back. So if somebody has texted you, kind of in reply to your ad or your leaflet or your letter, always where you can, pick up the phone and ring them back and engage in an actual conversation, rather than kind of the easy way out sometimes is just to reply by text.
I think the other thing is, it's also very difficult to engage tone over a text message, and sometimes you can get confused in the messaging. Can't really do a sales pitch over text message. So I think definitely just phone them and get yourself in front of their ear, so to speak. So when it comes to the actual call, the call comes in, you answer the phone. What do you do? How do you start it?
For us now, we have been going for, I think probably, how many months would you say now? 9? Between 6 and 9-ish, actually, taking action and getting our D2V campaigns up and running, and essentially receiving calls. And something in a very, very short period of time that we've noticed is that kind of nervousness and anxiousness around kind of, oh my god, the phone's ringing, somebody's ringing me, where's my script, and that kind of initial panic, to now actually being quite free flowing and comfortable with just having conversations with people as they ring in. But I think very much in the initial stages, while you're getting comfortable and you're learning your trade, scripts are very helpful to have, so you can kind of structure out all the questions that you want to ask and try and be as comprehensive as possible. You're not always going to get everything on the first call, and we certainly didn't when we first started out. There was loads of things that we missed, because you get excited and you go off on tangents and you end up not writing down anything because you're too busy talking, and you come away and you don't actually know what you've got.
You don't have the name, you don't have the address, but you put to viewing, brilliant.
So I'd say, so kind of scripts in the first instance are really powerful, just to make sure that you can get all the details that you need to get from the call, with the ultimate aim of trying to set up a viewing. I've gone off track now what the actual question was.
Well, it's just in terms of when you open the conversation, what so you talked about a script.
Yeah, so I think the script's really important. Try and be, I think there's a couple of different trains of thought on, kind of fake it till you make it, but also like just being open and honest and transparent, and I think that's something that we've definitely done. So just be open, just be genuine, be conversational, open questions. Like, it's all about listening to what the other person on the other end of the phone is wanting to tell you. They've gone to the effort of actually picking the phone up, so they clearly want to talk to you about whatever that may be. They've got a HMO that they want to offload, or they've got a house that they want to sell. They might have a problem that they need solving. So just being open with the questions and just letting the other person speak. I don't think there's a real, I don't know, art to that, or something that you can definitely kind of develop that skill as you go through and build up some confidence.
You have to be able to listen, but also guide the conversation as well, and that's almost like multitasking really, because you have to be able to respond to what they're giving you, but also have a direction of where the conversation wants to go and the details you want to listen. So it's very important to have that script early on, so you've got that handrail that will take you through the conversation, but be very aware that you don't just ask questions and don't listen to the answer and move on to the next one, because that'll just be very stagnant. It won't feel real. I think listening part is very important.
Yeah, absolutely. I think sometimes you can gauge as well the way the conversation's going to go, and sometimes you might feel like you're asking some fairly intrusive questions, which the responses will be varied depending on who you're speaking to. And I think it's almost just like picking up on those little telltale signs of, actually, if somebody doesn't want to go off in a certain direction, then the first phone call that might be fine and can go off in a different direction. And it's all about kind of just creating those touch points as you go. You're not necessarily always going to kind of seal the deal on the first phone call. It's about kind of touch points, and whether that's with a vendor, whether that's with a potential investor even, it's almost just kind of just building up that rapport as you go. But it is important that you get that kind of important detail down as well.
So what would you say are the main details that if you get nothing else out of the conversation, what do you want to have written down and have by the end of the conversation?
So you definitely need the address of where the property is, so you can go and do your due diligence on that particular property.
Yeah.
You want the name of the person. You want some property details, so you need to know what kind of property you're looking at. So is it a HMO? Is it a 3-bed, 4-bed, 5-bed? What particular area is it in? Is it in a high rental area? Is it not? Has it got central heating? Has it got double glazed windows? Delving into a little bit of the vendor's kind of personal situation as well. So, have they got a mortgage on the property? What's their reason for selling? I think, which is the main thing. Why have they chosen to ring you and not an agent? So that's really, really important. Why are they motivated to sell? That can take a conversation off in 1,000,001 different places, and I think that's why it's important that you don't try and fix every single problem with one solution, because bear with me, I've just got a bit of a low battery situation going on. You're not always going to be able to solve every single problem with the same solution. You're going to need to be able to problem solve lots of different solutions, and that's certainly something that we aim to do.
And you have to understand what their agenda is, and that's one of the most important things to listen is, why did they call you? Why did they call you today? And what exactly was it that made them pick up the phone at that very moment? Because they might have been sat on your leaflet for a couple of weeks. We've definitely had that before. Or it might have literally just come through the letterbox that minute, and they just called you straight away. So what is it about that moment that made them call you, and what exactly do they want? So it's really important to get that. Okay, and have you got any other general points, like about what you need to understand? I mean, we've had some people waste our time, haven't we?
Yeah, no, definitely. There is a lot of time wasters out there, and actually, as you start to really grow and develop your business as you go, you will find that lots more people want some of your time. So it's quite important to have kind of a bit of an internal kind of sifting out process quite quickly if somebody is a bit of a time waster, and I think that just kind of comes with experience, I would say. But certainly you want to try and sift out time wasters, people that are not there for the right reasons, or we're going to mess you about, and it is difficult in the first instance to do that. I don't know if you can think of any telltale signs that.
Well, there's also some people who ring up just like the old and bold that kind of see your leaflet and think, oh, who do these people think they are? And they almost test you in a way. And some of them will be there to test you because they maybe want something at the end, but some will be there just to test you because they're a bit offended maybe by the leaflet, and you've definitely had that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think another really important note to say is try and not get drawn into giving any specifics on that initial call, because you've not seen the property, you don't know what the full picture is. You haven't at that point done your due diligence on that particular area, that street. So you try and not get drawn into specifics of, because people will ask, how much can you give me for it? Like, bold as brass.
Yeah.
Bold as brass, is that even?
Something like that. I'm not really good on the phrases. Yeah, and what's your yield? What's your yield across your portfolio, and kind of try and put you on the spot to test you a little bit. But that's fine. Just you don't have to answer those questions. Maybe just try and be open and honest, really. And if you don't want to answer those questions, just guide the conversation in a different direction.
Yeah, and I think you always need to physically go and see the property. So that's the only way that you're going to be able to move on to that next stage of giving them an idea of how much you can give them, is you need to go and view the property, and that's quite an easy fallback too.
Which sort of leads me on to my final question, which is, what's the point of the call? What are you trying to get out, and how do you close off?
I think closing again is something that comes with experience, and I'm not saying by any means that's all that we are the most experienced. Definitely not. We are very much in the initial stages of our journey, really. But you need to try and make it win-win for both parties, but more importantly at this stage, it's what's in it for that person is something that you need to get across. What is in it for them? What service can you offer them? Why do they go to you and not to the other 10 leaflets that they've already received, or to the other 10 letting or sellers agents that are estate agents that are in their area? So what makes it about you and your service that's going to make them want to take it to the next stage? So I think that's the most important thing to take away from the call, or certainly to close the call.
And get your viewing.
Get
the details, get the date, pin them down, try and just get a decision made, rather than okay, maybe I'll call you if I decide I want to do a viewing with you. Just try and pin them down and get something in the diary then, and then you've kind of got them in terms of having that date set up and taking it forward.
Yeah. I think we're going to wrap it up there.
Yeah, she's getting a bit unsettled.
Yeah, this one needs to go and play in the garden and go and eat some dandelions. But yeah, that's the third part of our little mini series there.
Enjoyed it.
Hope it's been of use. Hope you've enjoyed it. If there's any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us, whether that's on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever forum or platform that you are watching this video on. Please leave comments, like the video, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and no matter what you do, make sure you enjoy the ride. See you later, guys. Take it easy.